yeah, so while we're waiting for him to come back, I'm going to go ahead and cover our new room. Metal Stormer, Furin, Kina, and Shitani, and a few of the other mods and admin have asked that I let you guys know about our new help center room, and I'm sure you guys have already noticed our different co-op rooms. So there is one co-op room. I'm going to call it our old co-op room, and it's just called co-op room. This room is for your daily co-ops, helps with like quest tickets, helps with normal missions, like let's say you want to farm EXP and you need to share or you want to share stamina, or you need help carrying a weaker Digimon through. All of that is going to go into the general, we'll call it a general co-op room. This event co-op room will just be for yes, it's me talking. Hey guys, welcome. This event co-op room will just be for whatever event is running at the moment. So if there's somebody needing to do quest tickets, we're going to ask that you guys move those quest tickets and all those questions into the co-op room. This is just to help you guys better match yourselves and find people and rooms that are working on what you're working on. Likewise, you'll see that there's been an addition of an entirely new room, actually, and this is the Help Center room. So the Help Center room, along with the Help Desk, are new programs that we have in place to better help you guys help others and get help. Because again, a lot of that is happening in the co-op room, which it's not wrong to want help and it's not wrong to give help. But we have been finding that the room numbers get lost with, should I make my Ultra Radar patch Kuwagamon Beelzemon or something? Those are great questions, but we do find that once that type of discussion gets rolled out... Oh, Alpha's back, great. Once that type of question gets rolled out and people start replying to it, you do lose your ability to link up with other people in co-op rooms, especially when you're trying to not get sniped and all that. We have Alpha back, I believe. Let's see if he can hear us. And then whether or not, if Alpha can hear us or not, we're going to have to go ahead and set sail, guys. Because I don't want to overwhelm you. It's not like we have a million things to get through, but there is a lot that I want to tell you about this event. Just waiting on Alpha's reply here. Mint Alpha. Well, no, not Mint Alpha. Alpha Male 1996 is someone that we're trying to buy a little bit extra time for him to see if he can link up. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and start anyway. I'm super sorry, guys. I just don't want to fall behind on time. So, if you guys think it's okay and good to start, if you could go ahead and throw up some thumbs. That way I know we're good to go. Okay, I see one thumb. I see somebody thumbing my thumb, which is fantastic. Somebody threw a +4. Nightheart throws a heart. Angus throws text thumbs. Alright, okay, so it looks like you guys are all set. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, once again, welcome. Thanks for coming. This is our first, I'm going to be calling them PEPTs, P-E-P-T, an acronym for Pre-Event Pep Talk. And we'll be doing this, I'm hoping, at the front of every event. It'll be in this time slot, unfortunately, because aside from this working with my schedule, it's a relevant time slot as I have the most amount of information before the event starts. So this is kind of more or less as close to the line as I can drag it. And it definitely helped out in today's case, seeing as a lot of the information I got just came in within the last 2-3 hours or so. And it looks like you guys are already prepped, and a lot of you, just about all of you, fantastic, all have your mics on mute. That's going to help a lot for the record quality. We're going to do questions at the end. If you have a specific question that you really want answered, that you aren't sure, you don't want to get lost or anything, go ahead and send it to my messages and then tag it with @mintb. I'll collect the questions after because I definitely want to get through all this. Okay, so we're going to start with Dynasmon himself, and we're going to talk a little bit about his stats, and basically I kind of outlined it all. And one of the biggest questions I've been being asked is Dynasmon right for me? Should I jump into this event? Should I buy Digimon from the banner? These questions can all be answered by yourself after you think a little bit more about what each part means. So we're going to talk about if Dynasmon is right for you. Dynasmon, of course, is one of the few signature null attackers in the game. Very strong at that. I think he has the best speed out of all the null attackers. Don't quote me entirely. I think Minervamon might be really close behind. But her stats, unfortunately, at the moment are a little bit janky until she gets her version 2. And even after that, he has a double hitting move that does 260 times 2. Oh, that's right. Jessamon is faster. I have Jessamon on my notes as well. He is one of the strongest null attackers we've seen to date, not counting Jessamon and not counting Piedmon. Of course, null typically isn't resisted naturally, so aside from those rare one-off null resists, you shouldn't have to worry about being able to hit opponents in PvP with it. But again, one of the interesting things is he is a Mirage type, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. I just want to give you guys some benchmarks on his stats. So his attack is, of course, above average. I know there are a lot of other YouTube videos out there just reading his stats directly, so I don't want to bore or dull you guys with that. But his speed, just to let you know where it's at, he's in, I would call it like the 5th tier of speed, and he does have the drain. I would call it the 5th tier of speed. I think there's only 15 Digimon above him that are in fact faster than him, and that's interesting. So we'll talk a little bit about the drain because I see a lot of people talking about the drain. When comparing him to other Digimon that do have that signature skill drain, I think currently he only competes with Lilithmon, and then in the future he'll compete with Lilithmon and Rosemon Burst. With his benefit, of course, being that he is null damage, which means more often than not he won't be resisted, both in PvP and in PvE events. So he'll be very useful with that. Him having his own sustain is really unique and really helpful as well. I'm sure if you guys have played a lot of PvP, you've run into people that have those heal 2s or heal 1s, and they're big showstoppers. Right now, I think there's a few Lilithmon swimming out there. I know some of our members here have Lilithmon as well, and she's very strong for her ability to heal and sustain with a quick speed, much like Dynasmon. I think the only thing in Dynasmon's stats that leave a little bit to be desired is his his special defense. His special defense, let me pull up the number here. It didn't impress me earlier. Oh, his special defense is 4169. So 4,000 and about 200. He's actually falling a little bit below average than many of his counterparts. So that's something to think about. If you want to make him one of your mains, and you are thinking about the medal banner, you might be able to fish out some special defense medals and slap it on there to balance out his stats more. Or if you don't really care about it, you could just kind of go all offense. Again, even though he does have lower special defense, he is going to have better sustain than average because he's able to heal back damage. Aside from that, just so I don't get that one person out there saying that I didn't cover both of his DNAs, he does have Wyvern's Breath, which is a nature AoE. Give me a moment while I hold back my giggles. In all fairness, it is a decent AoE. It's not the best out there. It's not multi-hit or anything, but it is above average in that it hits for 270 versus the standard, I believe it's 250. I think its accuracy is just a little bit behind other spread accuracies, being 90% over 95. Not that it's going to make too much of a difference. Really, though, this event, I do anticipate to be on the difficult end. If you can only make one, please don't make the AoE one. You can find other Digimon to fill that AoE sweeper role. I do think it's interesting that there aren't too many nature AoEs. But with that said, personally, I would hold off and look to the future for Craniummon, who's a very tanky Digimon as well, that does have a multi-hit nature AoE, much in the same fashion that Lord Nightmon does. So let me see if we cover all the notes here. Just about, yeah. The last thing I have to say about Dynasmon... Oh, you want me to talk about Drain Attack? Okay, that's right. In comparison to his Legacy skill counterparts, Drain Attack 5 and Drain Magic 5 both hit for only 450. Their benefit, of course, being that they're able to be put on other Digimon. They do, like many of the Legacy skills, have a little bit of a fault in their accuracy as well. I believe it's 90. Is that what I'm seeing here? It's 90. So thank you, Anasuna, for pointing that out. I had to hear my notes, but I was just about to pass it up. But the last thing I want to talk about Dynasmon is what it means to be a Mirage tribe in PvP. So remember, if you're Mirage, you're that neutral, you're that vanilla of Digimon links, you're going to be faced with a very tough choice. And you're going to have to think about if you want to resist dark or if you want to resist light. Both incredibly prevalent in PvP now, and if I had to be frank, they'll be prevalent in PvP for just about the duration of the game's life. Right now we see a lot of Susanumon or Susanomon. We see a lot of Beelzemon. We see a lot of Gallantmon Crimson or Dukemon Crimson. We see a lot of Belphamon. And as we get, as more and more of the paying players are able to buy the Digivolution Boost Pack, they're gonna bring more and more of these of those Dark Digimon into the game as well. So you have to pick your poison with this one. I think with that said, after you know what your resistance is, and you have that full team of +4s, I think I would be very cautious when I choose to send in Dynasmon. With that said, he's still very fast, and he'll still be able to fit most of the meta before getting hit. There is, let me see who's faster than him. There's a lot faster than him, and they're really big threats as well. Of course, you're going to have, where is it here? Beelzemon's going to be faster than him. But you know what? I think that's the only one that would intimidate him. Aside from Beelzemon, there's Lord Nightmon, where her multi-hit is a little bit less damage than Beelzemon, but it can still sting, being that she is a special attacker. Even though it's an AoE, remember, he has that poor special defense. So moving on, that about wraps up everything I want to say about Dynasmon. So thinking about that, you can decide if he's right for you. We're going to talk a little bit about the event now. So this event is decidedly a points event. Points events, while we don't know the exact point denomination that the game is putting in, we can assume that it's requiring us to get 40,000 points like previous events. So I'm thinking of the Lord Nightmon event. I'm thinking of the... No, I think Crimson Mode was a little bit different. The Imperial Dramon event was another 40,000 event. I see someone down there is doubting that it'll be 40,000. I'm not sure. I don't have the exact numbers. It might be. It might be. We can hope. Maybe it'll be less. That'd be exciting. Again, somebody's saying that we do have more +4s now. Pow Pow, the Unlucky, is saying we do have more +4s now. And Nightheart is commenting that they don't have the points posted yet, which is true. So we're looking at the event overview. It is going to be 40,000. It might be 40,000 points. Let me correct myself. It might be 40,000 points, which is what I have the expectation set at. We have seen Bandai surprise us in the past, but for now, that's going to be my expectation. So we're just going to say 40,000 points to get 21 fragments, 4 + 4. We'll talk a little bit about what gives you a bonus, what gives you the point bonuses. Of course, you do have your chips that are standard. You have your C chip giving you an extra 50%. You have your B chip giving you 3 times the points, and your A chip giving you 6 times the points. I believe you also do get bonus points from bringing certain Digimon. let's see it here. Oh, so if you bring Marine Angemon, which is interesting, Taitamon, Cherubimon, or Kazuhamon, you will get bonus points as well. Now, these bonus points will be, of course, a lot less than the chip bonus points, but still notable if you do have a Taitamon made already that's, you know, +3 or +4, or a Kazuhamon that's in that range as well. I know Cherubimon fragments have been out from tickets previously. You can use those. Of course, they really do want you to pull on that banner and spend 200 Digistones, which I think for most of us is a little bit much, especially since we're going to be trying to pull up a chip that's higher than C. Yeah, I see someone saying screw that, I'm not into it. But they're trying to bring an incentive. The point bonus that I'm expecting to get from the specific Digimon is probably going to be very much like the point bonus from having the Fire 3 skill of the Lord Nightmon event, where it was a small bonus, but it was still noticeable. And then, of course, the last way to get extra points, which I can see some of you in the chat that I know really like to host, and host for this specific reason, but the co-op leader will, of course, get a higher base point value to work with the multiplier than a co-op joiner, we would say. So if you have the Digistones to host and you want to host a lot, go ahead and do that. Oh, somebody's microphone just came off mute. If we can get that microphone, let me see if I can find it. Is it gone? Okay, cool, perfect. Thank you. All right, perfect. So of course there is incentive to host, which should help with the rest of us in joining. You know, it's good to have that balance of power there. But for those who are hosting, it is possible if you can chip yourself out and get, like, you know, 1 or 2 A chips and a B chip, or an A chip and 2 B chips. You might find power in speed, and that you might be able to solo run it while you're doing other things or going about your day and collecting points. Of course, your Digimon will have to be very strong to do that. I personally like having partners, and I like hosting or joining. Oh, I hear a mic. Where's that mic from? I think it's from Pega or Piga. If I could get you to mute yourself, bud. Let's hold on 1 second while we get our friend to mute. Let me see if it's picking up. Oh, it still is picking up. Okay, perfect. He muted it. Great. Okay. So that about wraps up what gives you the bonus points. I think this is the second most burning question that everybody's had, and I saw some of these questions before we started, and I didn't look at my messages yet, but I can promise myself that there's at least 3 people asking, what damage types do we use? Fantastic question. I think much in the vein of the strongest versus strongest event, there probably is not one damage type that you need to be using. I think it's going to be possibly a mix. If we can expect the mobs, the additional mobs, to be, Mirage, then they will come out as maybe Prince Mamamon, or sorry, regular Mamamon, and the Digitamamon. But there's other ways that this could go. It could send a mix of the boss Digimon, or the the megas that they have in the banner, which I don't think is too likely. But they could also send us Sylphimon and Aerovedramon to defeat, which would be interesting. One being Null, and I think the other being Electric. Correct me if I'm wrong. But as far as the effective damage types, we're going to go ahead and look to the hints that Bandai has thrown us by saying, hey, bring these Digimon. So we'll just talk about them one by one. Marine Angemon, I don't think I can speak for too much, because she doesn't really do damage. She's more of a healer. She does whatever damage you attach to her as a legacy skill. So moving on from her, next on our list we have Taitamon. Now, Dynasmon might have an additional weakness like the Nightmon had, where the Nightmon were weak to light and dark, but also had that extra fire weakness. I don't think we'll see that on Dynasmon, but who knows? We might see it on the mobs as well. Maybe Titamon is there because he's a nature, and maybe they're going to send us to defeat some Sylphimon, who is an electric. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it's representing. I think for Cherubimon Good and Kuzuhamon, I think the most likely assumption is that Dynasmon will be either weak to both of them or neutral to both of them. He could be one of those bosses. Sylphimon does have a nature attack, but I think Sylphimon still does take super effective damage from nature. But going back to Cherubimon and Kuzuhamon, the boss could be taking super effective damage from them, or maybe he's going to take neutral damage. We have seen bosses take only neutral damage in the past. And if so, maybe Titamon will be able to join in on that neutral damage, and maybe Dynasmon will take neutral damage from nature as well as light and dark. So those are my top theories, that the boss will take super effective from light and dark and neutral from nature. The boss will take super effective damage from light and dark and resist damage from nature and all else. Or the boss will take neutral damage from light and dark and maybe nature. With that said, I still expect it to be neutral to null. So if you were able to make a Boltmon from previous events, if you were able to make a Metal Garurumon Black from previous events, they should serve you well. I guess if you somehow made a Prince Mamamon +4 or something like that, props to you. I haven't done it yet myself, but of course that's going to be some null damage that might prove useful in the event. With that said, we're seeing how useful null damage is in events, and this makes, in my opinion, makes Dynasmon even more desirable. Having a null damage attacker that you know will be able to participate in many events further down the line, that has his own form of sustain. I'm not sure what else could be better. So he's very desirable for that. Let's see, I've covered I think I've covered just about everything I wanted to talk about the events. The event damage. Oh, who is this event for? I really recommend only playing this event if you foresee yourself being able to pick up 21 fragments. Now, I'm saying it slowly because I really truly mean it. I don't want to see you guys out there racing, rushing, and ducking for, 14 fragments, or come up with some odds and ends of like 17 fragments. I think if you're going to play this event and you're going to try to invest in it, you really need to be hitting that 21 fragment mark. Let's see here. Yeah, so other things that you can do if you don't feel like you can participate in the event. I know a lot of you guys have recently opened up quest ticket capture, and you have a lot of quest tickets. You can work on those, and you can start, raising your Digimon from, 0 to +4, 0 to +3, getting them prepped for the next best thing. You don't have to participate in every event that Digimon Links puts out, and I think that's where a lot of us get burned up. We feel the pressure, and we feel like, we need to be part of the meta, and we need to, have the best Digimon and join the ranks of everyone else. You won't die, and you won't completely fall behind if you skip this event. With that said, if you're up to the challenge, I think Dynasmon, although he will have a light or a dark weakness once you make him, is a really strong Digimon. It has good speed. He has sustain in the form of a null damage single target that multi-hits. The important thing about the multi-hit is that the chances of him completely whiffing are a lot less. I've seen people with like their Susanumon or their Crimson mode. Sometimes you just miss that attack in PvP, and because of it, you're losing now. Or because of it, you weren't able to kill something that turns around next turn and just skills you in the face. So having that multi-hit, that double hit on Dynasmon is really unique and does set it apart from his counterparts of Lilithmon and Rosemon Burst. Aside from the uniqueness of his null damage typing, meaning that it'll always be relevant. I see a comment from Nightheart about pubs. So the public rooms are going to be wild. with that said, make yourself comfortable, guys, and really try to avoid it if possible. If you feel like you want to brave the danger and help people out, go for it. But that's how I feel about the event. That's who I think should be participating in the event. Again, you don't have to participate in this event. It's okay if you are unsure still, or would like to know what else you can do during this event. If you're not participating in it, you can feel free to message me in my direct messages, and I will definitely have a look at it. I see Alpha Male. He says my voice is awesome. Thank you. It looks like you can finally hear me, bud, which is fantastic. I hope you didn't miss too much. So again, after you participate in, or after you listen to this pre-event pep talk, whether you're listening to it live with me now, or after I post it to YouTube, if you're still unsure if you should be participating in the event, listen very carefully. If you're still unsure, I recommend you playing through each difficulty chipless to see how your Digimon fare, and especially try the end difficulties, whether it be hard or intense, 2 times or so. And then gauge, depending on how well your Digimon doing that, you can gauge whether or not you'll be able to catch whatever point value you need to reach those 21 fragments. You don't have to buy the chip now. I know a lot of you have already bought a chip. Props to you. But I think the safer choice is to wait. So go ahead and think about it. If you're still on the fence, play through the first few stages without a chip. Do it. You might thank me later. I personally am going to play through the first few stages of the event chipless, just so I can see if I'm sold on it. While Dynasmon is one of the best Digimon, he's not one of my favorite Digimon, so I might be saving my energy for other things like maybe Leopardmon or Craniummon. But if I feel like I can fare well enough and I can reach that point value, I will go ahead and purchase that chip, and I'll be in it to win it with you guys. I think we're getting close to the end. I have in my notes here to mention the help center room. I mentioned it at the head of this this voice chat, but I'll go ahead and mention it again. We do have a new help center room, and that's for you guys to be in the... Somebody's posting a picture of discrimination. Interesting. If you guys haven't noticed yet, we do have a new help center room. This room is for people that have questions about team building, have questions about what to do in events. They're new to the game. They want to know how to get to a +4, how to be useful, how to find or make friends, how to use the Discord even. Go ahead and ask those questions in the help center. Also, if you'd like to help people with questions, go ahead and be there. Really try to keep this event co-op room just for event co-op. And this is actually going to help us reach our goals faster this week. I think we'll definitely feel it, and it'll feel a lot faster with us having less distractions in the room. With that said, I know a lot of you guys are long time here with the Discord, and I am big fans of you as much as you are of me. So thank you so much for helping me in courting the newer players and directing them to where they need to be. I know some of you guys speak out on, if people are talking about random things or general chat in the co-op room, it gets kind of distracting. I know you guys, I've seen you guys speak up, and that's really helpful. So if we can, get those newer players into the help center room when they're asking questions, that'd be great. And the help center room is also an opportunity for you guys to help people as well. I know I have this new help desk role assigned to me. I can't answer all the questions in the world, and I know you guys are dang brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to leaning on you guys for helping me with the newer players and even the older players in general. Sometimes I'm still confused, and I might have questions about team building and things like that. So I hope we can all enjoy and appreciate the new help center room, and we can make the fullest and the best of the new event co-op room. I'm gonna go ahead and take questions now. I know how. Well, you guys are really nice to me, so I do appreciate it, and I've gotten a lot of support. Now I'm gonna move to questions. So if you have a question that you want me to answer, you can go ahead and send it to my direct messages. I'm gonna go ahead and thumb through my direct messages now. After I thumb through those. Ooh, no questions about hacks. I know it was meant as a joke, but let's not joke like that, because I've actually seen DG Gamer like roast someone for that. So please don't joke about hacking. We don't take kindly to it. I know you didn't mean it. I'm just giving you a friendly warning. I don't mean any harm to you either, bud. Okay, I'm looking at my questions. Uh-oh, somebody's asking me when the voice chat session was or is. I hope they found us. We're near the tail end of it. Question from Darks. Darks is asking, if I have 3 C chips, should I pull 3 more C chips, or should I host for 300 Digistones? I think that's a really, really tempting choice. For me, I would maybe get the B chip, but I would also, mint for precedent, I would also have, I would also want to have maybe at least 100 Digistones on the side so I can host as well. Because there's going to be definitely some strong points from hosting, and you don't want to miss out on not being able to host. Again, though, B chips are really good, and I think B chip is the best, we'll call it the commoner chip, the best commoner chip or the best peasant chip that you or I could access. So hopefully, Darks, that answers your question. Alpha Male is asking if he has a good +4 setup. He has a Gaiamon +4. Okay, I'm not sure if this is... Oh, that question, Alpha Male, I will answer offline. It's more of a personal question, so I'm going to go ahead and get back to that later. I want to make sure I answer event questions. Hero Miros is asking if Dynasmon's weakness will most likely be light. Initially, going off of the Japanese Dynasmon event, which I want to go ahead and point out that is completely different than our event and had completely different bonuses. I think he was weak to light. So I'm not sure if we're going to expect him to be weak to light here as well. I see Kim 6029 saying that he's not weak to nature and he's weak to light and dark. I think I believe that. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I think there's a strong chance of that being the truth. Let's see. I have someone saying that they think that they're in voice chat, but they're not sure though. Oof. I don't know if I should have caught that before or after. I'm so sorry if I missed you. Are there any more questions about the event? I'm going to go ahead and start to read from the chat box here. I've just about emptied out and answered most of the questions from my direct messages. Nightheart's commenting on how how he'll be really effective in PvE, and that's why he's participating in the event. I think this Digimon is going to be both good for PvE and PvP. Maybe a little bit more challenging to use in PvP due to his needing to have a light or a dark weakness. Someone's asking if I'll be hosting for not A or B chippers. I am hype about the event. I am excited for you guys. The truth for me right now is I'm undecided on whether I'm participating in the event. So I'm going to go ahead and use that play through the first few stages strategy and try to do the maximum stage at least twice to see where my Digimon scale up and see what kind of point value I'm able to regularly yield. And I'll decide if I'm going to play. If I am, I'll definitely host for some of them. I do have a pretty busy work schedule this week, but yeah, I'll take C chippers in my room. I don't see too much of a harm. I think I might host a lot, maybe on the side or on my own, depending on what kind of chip I can pull out. But yeah, I don't want us to have to discriminate against C chippers. If you feel like you're gonna miss your point value, then go ahead. My advice to you is to just play a lot and play it hard. If you feel like you have enough stones to go ahead and make that B chip, I would make that B chip. It costs minimum 600 stones to make a B chip, but who knows, you might get it sooner. Again, that's still a lot of Digistones, and I completely understand that. So if you are not able to pull out that money for a B chip, you go ahead and use your C chip. I guess since we're on the topic of chips, I want you guys to know that you really shouldn't be doing this event without a chip. and you're going to get some really nasty looks from people. I'm sure people in the Discord will be nice enough to bring you, someone or another will be nice enough to bring you without a chip. But please at least try to bring a chip. That way it shows that you have the same investment level as them, as the host, or as whoever is chipped. Let's see, I have one. Oh, I have an interesting question from Darks. I like this question, so I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys. Darks is asking whether DNA2 Dynasmon or DNA2 Leopardmon is better. I believe DNA2 Leopardmon is that the one that lowers the defense? I think it's a magical attack. A magical attack null damage that has a 70% chance to lower the opponent's defense for 20%. Let me find it real fast on my internet. Yeah, I think so. Let me talk about Leopardmon's skill real fast. I had looked at it previously, and I think it's a little bit wonky because, hear me out. It's magical null damage, which is good because a lot of Digimon have higher physical defense. But it has a 70% chance to lower defense by 20% for 2 rounds. So while he doesn't synergize and play into himself, he can definitely help out your other Digimon in PvP. But I think his personal use in like rotating himself in PvE is a little bit odd since he does magic damage but lowers physical defense. I think he's good. Whether I think he's better than Dynasmon or not is really tough to say because function-wise they're different. I think a better comparison for Leopardmon might be Dukemon or Gallantmon regular with Lightning Joust. I think those guys are a little bit more similar, in which I'd say that maybe he's a little bit more viable, dealing both magical damage and null damage, meaning that he can always get the neutral hit. Enigma Games is asking if this event is good. I'm so sorry. It's hard to say. I think this event is good if you can complete it. It's bad if you can't. Since we're at about that 15-minute mark, I'm going to go ahead and close this up. Again, thank you guys so much for coming. This has been Mint B, and I'm here hanging out on DG Gamer's Discord. Props to DG Gamer, again, for having this really awesome Discord for us to hang out and share our ideas and our passion for Digimon links with each other. I've already made a lot of really awesome friends, and I hope to see you guys and hang out for much longer. As far as updates on me, we're going to try to see if we can host this. It looks like there's a big turnout. We're going to see if we can host this at least before every event, probably in this exact same time slot. So go ahead and hit me up in the direct messages and let me know if this time slot worked for you guys, or if you liked the voice chat in general. You can also go ahead and throw other commentary in there for me, and I'll go ahead and I'll read through it. Definitely want to hear from you guys because I want to know if this is something that you'd like to see more of or like to see regularly. Of course, I'll sound a lot clearer, and once I get the hang of this voice chat stuff, I think I'll be able to be a little bit more coherent for you guys. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place. And in addition to that, I'm still going to try to host the Q&A voice chat help desk sessions probably every other week on a weekday, a weeknight for my time. So right now it's actually 2:48 a.m. for me. So nighttime my time during a more or less random weekday, but I'll try to let you guys know ahead of time. It just depends on what my work schedule is for that week, but we're going to try to do those bi-weekly. So we're looking to get these pre-event pep talks every week, and with those Q&A help desk sessions every other week on a weekday though. But that's all about all I have to say, guys. Thanks so much, and good luck out there. Take care.